Eliano was the noble daughter of the Bionteka Empire, a descendant of a founding family that had accompanied the empire throughout its history. With a powerful father, she became the most noble flower of high society. But her life did not belong to her, it was her father's. Therefore, it was only natural that her husband was chosen with a single word from her father. The Duke asked, "What is this disgrace?" Eliano replied, "Father," the Duke continued, "I heard it from the nanny. Are you afraid your husband might take another wife beside you?" Eliano replied, "The Emperor of Zakador, sniff. They say he is surrounded by women, an empress, 5 consorts, and many concubines, and they also say that the first prince of that country has 2 wives." The Duke shouted, "What nonsense! How could the 7th prince, a mere ornament of the imperial family, have multiple wives? The man who will be your husband is nothing but a loafer with good looks, far removed from the throne." Eliano asked, "Does that mean he will be killed by the next emperor? Members of the Zakador imperial family have short lives. If a crown prince does not become emperor, he eventually ends up dead. Father, I am scared, please don't send me." The Duke stated, "An imperial couple, a symbol of peace and alliance, cannot be harmed by anyone. There is also a treaty that states he cannot have another wife beside you. Don't make that face. You have enjoyed plenty of freedom, and lived without any shortcomings just because you are the daughter of the Rosana family. So now, should you not repay your father for that?" Eliano replied, "Yes, father." Next scene. The wedding had begun, nobles whispered. Seeing her in person truly shows that she is someone full of elegance and grace. The prince is lucky to have such a wife, her tears are like precious jewels. The prince spoke, "I fell in love with you at first sight." Although she came to a foreign country due to an unwanted marriage, Eliano also began to be drawn to her husband, who showered her with passionate love. She lived a honeymoon dream, falling in love with her husband. At that time, Eliano was almost like an innocent child. Her growth began when her husband, who was just a powerless prince, started to get involved in the fight for succession. The empress, who had lost her son, adopted the 7th prince, the son of the late empress, as her adopted child. Amid the political changes, support was leaning toward the 7th prince. The prince returned victorious from the battle where the first prince and his brother were sent to die. He was also the one who, with the cooperation of the saint, saved the empire's citizens suffering from the plague. Although he expressed his insecurity about so much luck, his eyes shone with ambition. The prince spoke, "I want to be emperor. I will give you all the wealth and honor in the world." Eliano replied, "Your Highness, love is enough for me." Without realizing it, Eliano started to value her husband's ambition more than her own safety. She thought that even if it meant losing her own luck, she wanted him to achieve what he desired. The Rosana house supported the 7th prince with a vast fortune, and Eliano also sacrificed a lot to stay by his side. Overcoming all of that, Marcel became emperor, and as a reward for her support, he would place the crown of empress on her. But in the end, her origin from the enemy empire was what held Eliano back. During the years when the weak 7th prince became the heir and approached the throne, the peace between Bionteka and Zakador was broken. With wars and conflicts erupting one after another, Eliano's situation became difficult. Eliano had never wished to be empress, but at some point, she began to yearn for it. It was not out of ambition, but out of love. The emperor spoke, "I will soon ascend the throne and become emperor. My love, do you want to be empress?" Eliano thought, "You want to be, of course. Is it not my place as his wife?" She replied, "Yes, I want to be." The emperor asked, "Why?" Eliano shouted, "I love you, your highness, but how can you ask me to be a concubine and not your wife?" The emperor explained, "An empress is not a concubine. The empress is also the wife of the emperor, recognized by the temple and with all her legal rights." Eliano asked, "But she is not the main consort, right? If you are going to keep me as a concubine instead of an empress, please send me back to Bionteka. Do you no longer love me?" The emperor told her that was impossible. "I love you too, only you." After that, Eliano, by asserting her will, finally became the empress. Whoever wears the crown must bear its weight. Living as the empress, Eliano finally became a true adult. The treaty not to take another wife could no longer be kept now that her husband had become emperor. She understood and accepted it, though this was done through resignation. At first, the emperor, who used to observe Eliano, began bringing women into the palace without hesitation. With so many women in the imperial palace, the power struggles among the concubines intensified day by day. Now, Eliano had to destroy the love she had kept in her heart to survive. That, too, was destroyed by her husband. One day, the emperor shouted, "The third empress is sick. Can't she miss that prayer meeting? How can you punish her so severely?" Eliano replied, "Is it such a great punishment to ask her to transcribe the scriptures, Your Majesty, and that prayer meeting is not just any meeting. It was organized by the Pope himself." The emperor continued, "The third empress is a weak person. Have you forgotten that she was almost poisoned recently? I am very disappointed in the empress." Eliano thought, "I have also been poisoned several times." Eliano thought that just as she still loved the emperor, he also loved her. She wanted to believe it, but the love that had already cooled could not be rekindled. At least, that was true for the emperor. Faced with the cruel reality, Eliano's proud sense of honor finally broke. The emperor began to willingly visit the empress's palace. However, if they argued or if something upset him, he showed a violent attitude. Eliano shouted, "I am the empress. You can't treat the empress like a concubine." The emperor replied, "Then shout louder. I will stop when the servants arrive, but I will no longer come to find you. I need my descendants, don't I?" Eliano told him, "I don't want to do it here. Please go to the bedroom, at least keep some honor." The emperor commented, "I don't want to. If you don't open your eyes, I will stop. To get what you want, don't you have to satisfy me first?" Eliano shouted, "Then I will quit. I don't need something as disgusting as your seed. I would rather die as a deposed empress than live like this." The next moment, the emperor slapped her. Then he shouted, "I know you don't love me anymore. I know the only thing you want is my seed, and I have already given it to you. Even if I don't love you, you must love me. I am the one keeping you in this position. Even though everyone wants you removed, your tears are still like jewels." She felt that even the love that remained deep within her heart, like a thorn, was fading away. However, Eliano had to endure everything and do as he wished, to survive, to have a child. Next scene, the Duke came and spoke, "Please consider this proposal as a replacement for the impolite visit." Eliano asked, "Do you think this makes sense? Did I deny Bianteka, the place where I was born and raised, and did that enrage the Rosanna family, or is Bianteka planning to deal with the traitors of its homeland?" The Duke replied, "In the first place, the Bianteka Empire never expected anything from the Empress." Eliano asked, "They did not expect anything. Do they take me for a fool? The Empress has denied her homeland, and as a dispossessed woman, perhaps their dream of internal interference has vanished." The Duke emphasized, "Bianteka does not have that luxury due to the Empress's maternal family. I have come to send the princess back to her country. Don't you want to spend your final years in peace? If you take my hand, you can live your last years comfortably in your homeland. It is the will of Damien Rosanna." Eliano thought of the close friend of the crown prince, the one who always stood by his side, a great warrior revered by all Bianticans, Flint Howard. Behind his glorious reputation, there was a past stained with misfortune. His grandfather, Crown Prince Alphonse, passed away unexpectedly before his abdication, and the throne was inherited by his second son, Emperor Leopold. As war against Zacador broke out, he sent his late older brother's son as a hostage. Born there as the legitimate son, Flint soon lost his mother as well, and Linsgen was neglected and spent an unstable adolescence in Zacador. As a way of mocking the aging Biantican emperor, they called him the fateful crown prince. Now, back in the present time, Eliano shouted, "How dare you mock me? Do you intend to send me back to my homeland and use me as the foundation for conquering Zacador? What did that vile man promise you? Did he offer to show you a shortcut? I would rather trust the emperor than trust Damien Rosanna." The Duke replied, "The Empress of Zacador is truly a pitiable person. Emperor Marcel Zacador is an untrustworthy man." Eliano told him, "He is the emperor and my husband. Watch your words." The Duke again said, "I will ensure your safety." Eliano replied, "I do not trust promises." The Duke continued, "Think carefully with a clear mind. I will guarantee your safety, not in the name of Damien Rosanna, but in the name of Flint Howard. Once you make your decision, come to the greenhouse in the Empress's palace at this time. 3 days from now, I will wait." Eliano told him, "Do not wait. May you have a safe journey on the rugged path." The Duke stated, "I promise peace." The head maid told her, "Your Majesty, please choose for the sake of Your Majesty the Empress. I will dedicate my life to helping Your Majesty return to your homeland. I will follow you until death." Eliano thought the head maid was a loyal servant. The reason she would risk her life for her yet yield to Flint's threats was clear, but she could not let Damien Rosanna control her life. Damien Rosanna, the Rosanna Baron, was once close to Empress Eliano and her family. His sister supported her husband to become the Emperor of Zakador. However, when they became Emperor and Empress, they quickly changed. In exchange for the vast wealth he provided, he demanded that the refinery dedicate itself to him. Eliano, whose only escape was her paternal home, could not refuse their demands. She would secretly leak information from the Emperor's office or take military information and send it to the enemy. But Duke Rosanna abandoned her at the most critical moment. When she wrote, "The Emperor does not love me anymore. He took a mistress and does not even care about me now. I am tired of trembling every time I eat, wondering if there is poison in my food. I have been poisoned again. It hurts so much. Do you think that is all? A woman like me can't stay in the position of Empress forever. I am really going to be deposed. I am scared and terrified. Please help me divorce the Emperor and return to my homeland. I am begging you." She then received the answer, "Are you crazy? Divorce? Why would the Duke risk everything for you? Do you think it makes sense to waste the entire family and then ask for a divorce? If you are going to be deposed, fine. But you will never divorce. Endure it. Stop speaking like this." They never cared about her well-being. She could no longer trust the family who had betrayed her, and she could no longer believe in the promises of her blood relatives. But Flint Howard. His gaze was so sharp it was almost irritating. A person with such a gaze would do anything to keep their promises. Could they really live peacefully? After that, the knight spoke, "Your Highness, we must leave. The patrol time is approaching. It seems the Empress will not be coming." The head maid came and told them, "She will not come. The palace patrol schedule changed as of yesterday. The passage used by the maids is being cleared. Please use that route. The Empress has instructed that you cross the border as soon as possible. You must use different identities in each region and pass through Linsgen." The knight asked, "How can we trust that? It could be a trap." The head maid continued, "Finally, the Empress wants you to know that Bionteka's little son has lost its light. I thank you for your sincerity. Return and become who you are. Do not fear disgrace. And do not turn away from the fortune before you." That is the Empress's final message. Next scene. The doctor spoke, "Congratulations, Your Majesty. You are with child. My sincere congratulations." Eliano thought, "Now I can live. There will be no more talk of deposition just because I am a barren woman." This was what Eliano thought, but the joy was short-lived. In the end, the child never saw the light of day. After the miscarriage, Eliano locked herself in the Empress's chambers and cried for days. Then she remembered the Emperor telling her, "I still enjoy the nights with Eliano, but what is the point of planting the seed if I can't protect the child? Did I ask for too much? I even said a daughter would be fine. Please, just let me have a child." Eliano thought the ongoing talk of deposition, which resurfaced whenever she started to forget, made her miserable and unhappy. Just when it seemed like no more bad things could happen, the misfortune grew bigger and came closer. A noble lady told her, "This is not Bionteka, Your Majesty. If you honorably step down and withdraw, you will no longer have to face any further challenges." Eliano replied, "This is all I have left. How can you ask me to give it up?" The noble lady commented, "Your Majesty, there is something more important than honor. It is your life. You need to find a way to survive." Eliano stated, "If I were a Zakadorian, I would have followed your advice. The roots of Bionteka, where life and death are bound by honor, are not so easily changed. Do not come to the Empress's quarters again. It will not be good for you either." The time was coming when everything had to end. Her survival so far had been guided by intuition, and this was what it told her. The noble lady came and told her, "Your Majesty, the Rosanna family has been wiped out. The Duke, no, the new Emperor of Bionteka, has ordered the annihilation of their entire family. The direct line was beheaded, and even the collateral branches could not escape with their lives." Eliano thought, like the end of a chapter, even my family house was wiped out. The once unshakable power of Rosanna crumbled and was erased from the world. The noble lady asked, "What should we do now, Your Majesty, if that person intends to harm you too?" Eliano spoke, "I, too, am of the Rosanna bloodline, so there is nothing I can do. Moreover, did I not graciously refuse his offer? Now, I just want to rest." Eliano was sick of everything that had happened beyond her will, but there was no way out except death. That death, however, would come regardless of Eliano's will. The Emperor, who came to see Eliano as she faced deposition, was unusually kind. It was like their honeymoon in Linsgen, filled with passionate love. After a long time, they shared an intimate conversation. He personally brewed the tea, so gentle it almost made her heart ache. But the moment the tea slid down her throat, everything shattered. The tea had been poisoned. The emperor told her, "I will send you off, your majesty. You will die as the empress of Zakador. You have lived a life of wealth and glory, so there are no regrets. You should have rejected the empress position when I ascended the throne. To be honest, I was terrified of your ambition back then. Why did you not at least bear a child? If you had given birth to a son, he would have succeeded me. Farewell, my love." Eliano thought, where did things go wrong? Was it because I could not protect my child? Was it because I did not give up the position of empress? Was it because I thought my husband's love would last forever? Was it when I did not take his hand back then? No. It was when she was sold to Zakador and married off. That was the beginning of her misfortune. If she could go back to that moment, she would have rebelled. Even if it meant being beaten to death by her father, she wanted to turn everything back. Next scene. Eliano thought, when I opened my eyes, it was the spring of my 21st year. After that, the ladies asked, "I heard you recently received a marriage proposal. You declined it, did you not? Could it be that you, too, are contemplating dedicating yourself to the temple?" Eliano thought everyone assumed that she would live her entire life freely, enjoying wealth and glory as part of the Rosanna Duchy, simply because she was not pressured into marriage. It was a life adorned with expensive dresses and dazzling jewels, yet hidden within it was subtle abuse. The Duke stated, "Never forget that what made you who you are today is not them. The man who dares to pluck the Rosanna flower will be chosen by me. If it is carelessly plucked and tarnishes its dignity, I will not forgive it." Eliano thought her father raised her to be the epitome of a traditional, conventional noble lady, although she received a high level of education. Upon closer examination, it was all about manners and refinement. A generous decree declared that her knowledge needed only to reach the level of cultivated sophistication. At one time, the Duke asked, "The library, what business do you have there? I will bring you books that are suitable for a lady like you. There is nothing more for you to learn." After that, the nanny told her, "Please go see the tailor instead. Falling behind on trends is simply unacceptable." Then, at another moment, the teacher said, "If this part is too difficult, you can skip it." Eliano replied, "But teacher, if father finds out, he will punish me." The teacher told her, "Don't worry, I won't tell the Duke. I will report that you got everything correct on the test." That evening, the young lady of the Duke's household was whipped for disgracing herself before her tutor. The Duke stated, "Remember this pain. This is what will happen if you fail to fulfill your duties, and I am not punishing you. Do you understand?" Eliano thought it was only then that she realized she had misspoken. However, whether that alone was a reason to be beaten until she bled was something she still could not understand, yet she had no choice but to beg her father for forgiveness. The root of all misfortune was her father. Not a single moment passed where she forgot this. From the moment she realized it, even until now, living her second life was a miraculous stroke of luck. A second chance to set everything right. God, thank you. I will never repeat a wretched and miserable life. Next scene. The Duke and Eliano entered the hall. Nobles whispered, "She is the daughter of the Duke. Does that mean she is unmarried? I heard the eldest daughter of the Rosanna Duchy is over 20. It is said the Duke adores his daughter so much that he intends to keep her by his side for life. Even His Majesty's proposal to pair her with the Crown Prince was refused." The other noble ladies chatted, "The most noble flower, she is just a crybaby who sheds tears at the slightest things." Liliana came and told them, "Eliano is simply not yet mature enough, that is all." Eliano thought her past life was truly foolish beyond measure. It was a wonder she managed to hold on to the position of Empress. She should have been quicker to notice things, or at least smarter, or, if anything else, so ignorant that she would not realize anything at all. Liliana came and asked, "Why are you standing there like a wallflower?" Eliano thought Liliana was her closest and dearest friend in her previous life, a childhood bond forged by their fathers. Whenever she found herself in difficult situations and tears threatened to fall, Liliana would always step forward to protect her first. Liliana continued, "The Duke is with my uncle right now. Is it true that you drove Lady Hiren out of the tea party?" Eliano replied, "Drove her out? That is such an exaggeration. Lady Hiren mentioned she felt uncomfortable, and Lady Perseddon simply accommodated her wishes." Liliana said, "You don't have to sugarcoat things with me. We are friends. If it is about that other lady, I can ask them to leave." Eliano replied, "No, that won't be necessary." She thought, "Yes, at one point, I did consider you a true friend, but that was only my belief." Eliano continued, "I know you have said you are tired of acting like my nanny." Liliana told her, "That is not true. there must be some misunderstanding. I have never said such a thing. Eliano explained, I have been such a child, always burdening you. You must have grown weary of me crying over every little thing. You were right about everything, that is why I am still unmarried at this age. Liliana commented, wait a moment. I don't know what Lady Hiren said to you, but that lady dislikes you. How can you believe the words of some country bumpkin but not mine? Eliano thought, yes, I remember now, it was Lady Hiren. She was the one who, in my previous life, brought me Liliana's slander. She said, Hiren does not dislike me, on the contrary, I feel as if you are the one who dislikes me. A simple apology would suffice. Instead, you are putting me in such a difficult position. If you apologize, I could still remain a kind and gentle friend. I will wait for you. I don't consider our 10 years of friendship meaningless either. If I may give you some advice as a friend, she continued, associating too often with ladies who lack etiquette is not good for your reputation. They don't even know how to greet a noblewoman properly. She thought, the world surrounding me is gradually changing. This is only the beginning. I will no longer let my life flow according to someone else's will. Eliano thought, how trivial, to feel a sense of victory just for winning a battle of wits. Laughable, considering the storms I weathered in my past life. The maid told her, this is the VIP lounge. Eliano entered the room and introduced herself. The Duke spoke, Your Highness, the prince said, my apologies, raise your head. The Duke told her, I apologize on behalf of the lady. If you have come here to rest, I will vacate the space for you. Eliano replied, no, it is fine. I apologize for intruding on your highness's precious time. I shall take my leave now. The crown prince spoke, wait a moment. Then he said, so the rumors about her changing recently were true, don't you think so? Where did he go? On the other hand, Eliano thought of the crown prince. He was the emperor's beloved youngest son and the empire's only heir. That precious crown prince, 7 years ago. Rumors spread that he had gone to Zakador as an envoy, but was detained and went missing, ultimately leading to his death. The emperor declared war on Zakador. This war, which lasted for 3 years, was waged while the emperor also tried to appoint a new heir. At that time, father took the lead in finding the emperor's illegitimate son. However, the new heir could not become the crown prince and was ultimately banished from the imperial palace. The crown prince, who was reported dead, returned 3 years later, bringing an end to the 3-year war with victory and glory. He returned along with his cousin, who had been held hostage in Zakador. Although he was banished from the imperial palace, the mere existence of another heir must have unsettled things. It is no surprise that they disliked me, the daughter of Duke Rosanna. However, is it not rather petty to take their frustration out on me when they say nothing to my father? The Duke came and spoke, please don't feel obligated to show any courtesy, let this serve as a substitute for the crown prince's bad mood. Eliano replied, I don't suppose you called me here just to say that. I thought you would mock me for such a classic tactic. The Duke continued, I know it was not your ladyship's intention. Eliano commented, I am touched by the kindness of your grace, however, I will accept your gesture with gratitude. There is no need to send me a replacement for the broken hairpin. I have plenty of others, your grace. If you don't wish to put me in an awkward position, please don't send the hairpin back to my home. I believe you understand why, if you are familiar with my father. The Duke replied, understood. After that, the prince asked, she dropped the butterfly pin, and you went to return it. You actually fell for such a classic tactic. The Duke replied, it was not intentional, and I was simply trying to return the valuable and precious item to its rightful owner, but she refused. The prince told him, I think it is better not to send that butterfly pin back to the Rosanna family. I don't want to see the Duke of Rosanna take you as her daughter's suitor, so stop it. A classic tactic is when a lady expresses her feelings by dropping something in front of a man she likes, and the gentleman courts the lady by returning the item she dropped. It was just a refusal of an arranged marriage proposal, and she is the woman who rejected the crown prince. At this rate, it really feels like I have been rejected. The Duke thought, she said, if you know my father, you will understand what that means. Was that what she meant? On the other hand, the Duke spoke, you should go home first, you look tired. Eliano replied, yes, father. After that, Eliano thought, it may seem like he is caring for his daughter during the day, but at night, it is just him keeping me in check to prevent me from doing something reckless. The knight asked, I heard you had a quarrel with Lady Sanders today. Eliano thought, he is my father's eyes, one of those who report every move I make to my father. She replied, Am I supposed to answer everything just because you ask? The knight asked, what did you just say? Eliano thought, the rudeness is so apparent, it is unbelievably unpleasant. How did I ever tolerate such things in the past? The knight came into the carriage. Eliano stated, get off, sir. The knight replied, it is my duty to protect you from danger. Eliano asked, what danger could there possibly be in the capital? The knight continued, we must pass through the slums on the way. Eliano said, this carriage does not pass through the slums. Moreover, if what you say is true, should you not be guarding me from outside the carriage? What if the slum dwellers throw stones? The knight came out and shouted, what are you doing? Hurry up and depart. Eliano thought, at least the watchful eyes are gone. The actions I must take to avoid repeating my past life are clear. Never marrying into the royal family as their princess consort. To do that, I must first escape my father's eyes and ears. After that, Eliano thought, for the time being, I should stop going to tea parties and banquets as much as I have been. Drawing too much attention to myself would not be wise. Fortunately, Grand Duke Howard did not return the hairpin. Since father plans to marry me off to Zakador, getting entangled with another man would be dangerous, and yet, the reason I deliberately dropped the hairpin in front of him was perhaps because, in this life, I wish to hold on to the hope he once offered me. The hope I failed to grasp in my previous life. The maid asked, my lady, are you hurt? Eliano replied, don't do that again. The maid said, yes, I will be careful. Eliano stated, a maid who does not obey her master's orders is not needed here. Leave. What are you doing? Why haven't you dragged her out yet? The nanny came and asked, why is our angelic lady so upset? Eliano told her, get rid of that child and don't let her set foot in my room again. The nanny continued, it seems the girl made a mistake while brushing your hair. What are you doing? Apologize immediately. The maid spoke, I am sorry, my lady, my hands have been hurting lately, please forgive me. The nanny commented, the lady will surely understand your circumstances, don't worry too much. Eliano stated, why won't you listen to what I am saying? Who is your master? The nanny replied, my lady, the servant's master is Duke Rosanna. Eliano told her, I have no intention of playing word games with you. The nanny replied, I am merely stating the truth. Eliano told the maid, you there. Go and call the butler, but no one goes anywhere. Eliano spoke, so no one listens to my orders. After that, the servant told her, Miss, if you tell me, I will handle it. Eliano replied, I said I needed to meet with the butler. The servant continued, the butler is busy right now. Eliano shouted, stop being so stubborn, you won't listen unless I use force, take me to the butler, right now. After meeting with the butler, everything went smoothly. Eliano spoke, leave the mansion immediately. The nanny tried to say, no, these children. Eliano continued, you are being dismissed for your disobedience and incompetence, and why is that, head maid? The head maid replied, no matter how long you have taken care of the young lady, the first young lady's orders must be followed, you must obey. Is that not right, butler? The butler commented, that is correct, you must follow Miss Eliano's orders. Eliano stated, do not let clumsy maids into my room, I can't stand chatty ones either. After that, Eliano thought, Nanny was placed under indefinite house arrest for disturbing the maid's discipline and showing disobedience toward me. This house arrest will not last long. Nanny is one of father's close associates. Until then, I must come up with a plan to remove Nanny. Before that, she said, I must ask about the reason for your unauthorized entry into my room. It must be an urgent matter. Isabella replied, how are you, sister? Isabella replied, your way of speaking has changed a bit since I last saw you. I thought you were mother for a second. You are not going to scold me for laying a hand on a maid, are you? If you are unhappy, would you like me to hit my maid instead? I am not sure if you can do it with such delicate and kind hands. Eliano told her, anyway, sit down. Isabella asked, how is it that you never make a sound when you do that? You really seem like someone who has spent their whole life practicing just this. Eliano replied that that was not wrong, you are the same, are you not? Isabella commented, father does not expect the same level of manners from me as he does from you. I will be debuting in high society soon, but I can never live like you, my temper is too bad. Eliano told her, if you came to see me, you must have something to say, you can get straight to the point. Isabella emphasized, Pamela is under house arrest. I was shocked to hear it was your order. Well done. That wretched old woman would only cause harm to you if she stays by your side. Don't you want to get rid of Pamela completely? Shall I help you?" Eliano spoke. "Nanny is under house arrest, otherwise." Isabella said, "But once father calls for her, it is over. By now, father must know about Pamela's house arrest." Eliano asked, "How do you plan to help me?" Isabella told her, "I will handle Pamela, but you also need to help me. It is simple. At tomorrow's royal banquet, you just need to be with Alvic, the Viscount, you know, the man my father has chosen as my fiancé." Eliano asked, "Are you asking me to hire an assassin to have him killed?" Isabella replied, "No, I don't mean to have him killed. What I mean is, get him to propose to you." Eliano said, "I will handle Pamela myself." Isabella shouted, "Please help me. I don't want to marry that guy, just dance with him once. When you really need help, I will help you." Next scene. Eliano thought, "I was not particularly close to Isabella, but at least she is not someone who makes promises she can't keep. If I can settle this debt by just dancing with him. But could someone like the Viscount really propose after just one dance? Is he really that gullible?" The Viscount came and spoke, "Lady, you are truly beautiful. What a beauty, to have the chance to talk with you like this. It is truly an honor." Eliano thought, "He is still a fool. If he were a decent man, I was thinking of marrying him before my marriage to the Jakandar prince was even discussed, but it seems that is not going to work." Then she looked at the Grand Duke. Suddenly, Eliano started enjoying the dance. The nobles started chatting. "Eliano is dancing with a young gentleman. Is she trying to find a fiancé?" The other men also said, "Please dance with us." Eliano thought, "Isabella, you will have to pay a suitable price for this." Then, at night, Nanny spoke, "Miss, this nanny has returned just in time, has she not?" Eliano told her, "I never lifted your house arrest, it was my father's order." Nanny stated, "I can't be away from you for even a moment, if not me. Who else will make you the perfect noble lady of the Rosanna family?" After that, she said, "Your roots have grown quite a lot. If this murky color is revealed, everyone will doubt your birth." Eliano thought, "The nurse once told me you have lacked pigment since birth. It is a kind of illness." Then she thought, "I believed those words right away. At that time, my world was limited to Pamela's skirt. The secret behind why my hair color was revealed later. When back in life, I received a letter that demanded the return of the magic tool that changes the color of hair. It is a keepsake of the late Duchess. I am hereby informing you that Eliano, the illegitimate child, has no right to possess it." Eliano continued, "Thinking the letter that had been ignored came back as an official condemnation. Only then did I remember Nanny saying it is an item so precious you must not lose it. I will keep it safe for you. Instead, I will take responsibility and dye it beautifully for you, so don't worry." Then she remembered the emperor stating, "Your beautiful hair was not a result of a disease, but proof that you are a bitch whose mother's status is A. How dare you steal the legitimate wife's heirloom and marry into my family?" Eliano thought it was hopeless. My noble bloodline turned to lies, and I was burdened with the disgrace of having stolen the family heirloom. As someone from a hostile country, I struggled to hold on to the position of empress, but from that moment, I began to crumble. Now, back in the present time, Eliano said, "You can retire and still dye my hair from time to time." Nanny asked, "How could I ever retire? This nanny will be by your side forever. Shall we go to bed now?" After that, Eliano thought of the sticky situation. Looking back, the magic tool was the root of everything. If the heirloom had been returned in time, the revelation of being a bastard and the subsequent discussion of dethronement would never have happened. Where could Pamela have placed the magic tool? Does she carry it with her at all times, or is it in Pamela's personal room? Could she have already sold it as stolen goods? No, dealing with Pamela is the priority now. I need to talk to Isabella and see how things are progressing. The next morning, Eliano spoke, "I have something urgent to discuss, so please leave us alone." Isabella told her, "It has to be kept secret, especially from Pamela." Eliano asked, "How do you plan to get rid of the nanny?" Isabella replied, "Don't worry, I have a way. We need to get rid of the thief in the house." Eliano thought, "Damien's pen." Isabella continued, "I will find it soon. You just have to wait, sister. I will take care of it neatly on the day brother goes out." Eliano told her, "It is a good plan, but since we need to get rid of the nanny who has been serving the family for so long, why not make sure it is done thoroughly?" Isabella commented, "Father's belongings are hard to touch, you know that. Stealing brother's belongings was already." Eliano told her, what about mother's things? If it is something that has already been stolen, it might be easier. Isabella asked, what, that old hag is actually a thief, what did she steal? Eliano explained, a pair of earrings with black obsidian embedded in them, they are hook style and enchanted. Isabella replied, I will search Pamela's room, but what if she already sold them? Eliano spoke, she would not have done that unless she did not care about her life, if father finds out, it won't end well for her. After that, Nanny spoke, the Duke is looking for you, your nanny will go with you, as always. After some time, Eliano thought about stepping foot in this place again. The Duke spoke, the Viscount has submitted a proposal to you, did you seduce him in a vulgar manner? Eliano replied, no, father. The Duke shouted, then why would he, a perfectly respectable man, submit a proposal to you? Eliano commented, I only danced with him, father, that is not really wrong, is it? The Duke stated, Pamela said you have changed, and it is true, how dare you talk back to your father? Nanny spoke, it seems the young lady needs some discipline. The Duke said, it seems so. Hang her up. Eliano shouted, no, stop, I don't want to. Nanny slapped her, then hung her hands. The Duke stated, today, I will make sure to correct your habit of talking back to your father. Outside the room, Isabella said, no, I am saying I want to see my father, why are you not listening? The servant replied, no, you can't do that. Suddenly, Isabella heard Eliano's voice, I was wrong, I will never, then a scream, I won't do that, I promise, I was wrong, father, then came countless screams. The servant told her, I told you not to go. The master is disciplining Lady Eliano right now. Eliano thought, is that what they call discipline? It is not like I don't know of my father's discipline. I have memories of being hit by a cane, however, this is not the sound of a cane, is it? It sounds tougher and heavier. The Duke stated, will you lose your dignity as a noble woman and shamelessly seduce a man again? Isabella thought, it is because of me. Damien came and said, stop right there. Isabella replied, it is not the first time, is it? My brother knows everything, how can you act like that? You are also my sister's half-brother. Damien commented, that is right, we are twins, after all. You have grown up now, so it is time to know the truth. Eliano is not my twin, and she is certainly not your sister either. Aside from our eye color, she does not resemble me at all. Don't tell me you never had any doubts. Isabella shouted, even so, this is wrong. Damien asked, what are you going to do? Are you going to take the punishment instead? If you won't, don't step up without a plan in mind. I don't want father to lay a hand on you as well. Take her to her room right now. Act as if she has never been here. Don't let anyone wander into this hallway. After that, the maids shouted, my lady, what is going on? You need to get treatment quickly. I will call for a doctor. Nanny shouted, she is my lady. I will take care of her treatment. Can't you people just get lost? Those clueless fools should immediately be replaced. The lady has a shallow temperament. If you believe blood can't be hidden, that must be why the Viscount wrote about how unforgettable that night was. However, there are no marks on her body at all. But what the hell did they do? Did she perhaps give him a taste of those beautiful lips? The Duke loves you so much, my lady, that he has prepared such good medicine for you today as well. Since we can't leave scars on the lady's body, but I won't be the one to treat you today. This is your punishment for ignoring your nanny, then I will see you again tomorrow. Eliano thought, I did not expect this to happen. I won't just stand by and take a beating like before. I will run out of the office. I imagined this situation in my head over and over again. But the moment I saw the whip in my father's hand, I felt all the strength leave my body, and my thoughts stopped. I have endured countless pains, but I have not learned how to endure physical pain. It was not something that could be resolved simply by not becoming the crown princess of Jacador. I must escape from my father. After some time, Isabella shouted, get out of the way, nanny, you said you could come in without permission. Isabella stated, how dare a nanny like you lecture me? Have you lost your mind? Who do you think you are staring at? The doctor spoke, she has not been treated yet. I will take care of her, so don't worry. Isabella stated, what, she has not been treated yet? Isabella shouted, my sister is in this condition, but you are sleeping without treating her. How can you sleep in a situation like this? Nanny replied, no, I was just about to treat her. Isabella stated, you came out of the tiny room when I entered, and now you are lying about it. Am I a joke to you? Clear this up. Then she asked, how is big sister? The doctor replied, she is receiving treatment, but her wounds are so deep that she will be in a lot of pain. Isabella told her, use this ointment. The doctor replied, this is Elisum. It is known to relieve pain and not leave scars. It is very rare. Next scene. Eliano saw in a dream Nanny speaking, you say that, but there is still defiance in your eyes. I think you deserve more punishment. I hope you don't have to feel the whip. Eliano replied, I don't want to. The next moment, she woke up. The maid told her, Miss, you still need to lie down. Eliano thought, it is not as painful as I expected. Nanny said she would not treat me, but did she end up doing it? But this salve, it is not from the nurse. She asked, did you treat me? The maid replied, no, it was the doctor. Eliano asked, who brought the doctor? The maid replied, it was Miss Isabella. Eliano asked again, then who called Isabella? Was it you? The maid replied, yes. Eliano continued, why did you call Isabella? There is the head maid and Damien. The maid explained, the head maid went because of someone else, since the young master is a man. I thought Miss Isabella would be more comfortable for you. Eliano said, why did you not call the nurse? The maid replied, she did not treat you when you were hurt like this. Eliano told her, thank you for calling Isabella. She thought that the maid was quick-witted and her touch was skilled. She would be worth keeping around. Then she told her, could you call Isabella and Damien for me? After some time, Eliano spoke, you all must know what happened to me yesterday. Since father favors the nurse, she will likely have to stay by my side, but honestly, it is terrifying. I almost died last night because the nurse did not treat me, but father listens to the nurse more than to me. Isabella shouted, so he is really going to bring that dreadful old woman back into your room? Eliano replied, it is father's order, there is nothing we can do. Isabella continued, that is ridiculous. Brother, does this even make sense? Damien told her, keep your voice down. I can hear everything even if you speak softly. Stop causing a commotion in the mansion. Eliano, I am already fed up with it. Eliano told them both, stop. Damien replied, don't give me orders. Eliano said, it is not an order, it is a request. Damien continued, the tone of someone making a request should be polite. Eliano asked, so what more do you want? Should I kneel before you as well, young Duke? Damien asked, what benefit would I gain from making you kneel before me? Eliano emphasized, I hope you speak well to father, at least he will trust you more than the nurse. Damien told her, it seems like you don't understand the situation. You will never marry the man you desire, so keep that in mind. Eliano replied, I have been keeping that in mind all along. Damien continued, no, it seems like you have forgotten. There has been news going around among the young men that you are looking for a husband. That is what provoked father. Focusing on the nurse is so ridiculous. You are so selfish. I will take care of the nurse issue. Neglecting a noble lady's treatment is indeed a grave crime. Make sure you conduct yourself properly. Get a hold of yourself. Eliano thought, that is the kind of person he was, still picking the worst words to say. I don't even expect him to call me sister. She remembered Damien asking, want me to tell you something? Between the both of us, you were born first. Eliano replied, really? Then try calling me sister. She thought, at that moment, Damien's expression, what was it? Could it be? Maybe he has known for a long time that I am an illegitimate child. His cold attitude might also be because he knows that I am not the real twin. After that, Eliano asked, the nanny is nowhere to be seen, what happened? The maid replied, the nanny is currently injured and lying in her room. She must have had blurry vision and fell down the stairs. Eliano thought there must have been a power struggle between the head maid and the nanny beneath the surface. She said, legs are precious. Since the nanny is sick and can't sleep, please bring her some sleeping pills. After some time, Hiran spoke, you are not trying to change me away today. Eliano replied, of course not. By the way, I received your letter of apology. She thought the reason why I am attending the tea party despite not being fully recovered is because, just like in a private members club, important information is exchanged at tea parties for young ladies. The topic about the changed lady of Rosanna faded away more quickly than expected. It is because of a statement made by a prominent figure who attended the prince's private members club. The Grand Duke stated, even though Lady Hiran is the daughter of a count, she can't really be compared to Lady Rosanna, as the latter has a much higher status. I believe there is no need for us to comment on such private matters, since Lady Eliano handled it according to the rules of high society. There is even less to say about the matter with Lady Sanders, it is not worth discussing either. Eliano thought, since then, everyone has closed their mouths like clams, not saying a word about it. He still dislikes gossip as much as ever. I thought he would be a bit more spirited when he was younger. It is a bit surprising that he directly expressed his disapproval. The conversation at the tea party is going on about the barbarians. Eliano thought, if it were the old days, I would have avoided such difficult conversations and headed to the garden with other young ladies instead. Relying solely on past memories is too risky, especially when I don't even know how the marriage discussions with the Jacador royal family will unfold. I need to increase my social activities and gather as much information as possible. That is the best I can do for now. After that, Hiran gave her an invitation. She said, if the lady is unable to ride, you may decline the invitation. Eliano replied, I would love to attend if I can see the renowned steeds of the Count family. Hiran told her, of course. I have brought them to the capital just in time. I will make sure your lady sees them. Eliano thought, in my previous life, I had never attended a horseback riding event. It seems like it could be a refreshing change of pace. Next scene. Eliano asked, you could not find it. Isabella replied, I think it is being hidden somewhere. Eliano commented, if that were the case, their heads would have already been on the chopping block. Our father would not stay quiet if he knew about it. Isabella told her, no, our father seemed completely unaware of it. I subtly probed it myself. Even when I mentioned the obsidian earrings, there was no reaction from him. To be exact, Eliano thought, he does not know, that can't be. Then she said, it is a family heirloom from the other side. Mother said it was an heirloom. Isabella asked, what are you talking about? That is not the heirloom of the Lambert Marquis family. That heirloom is in my possession. Look at this. This is a magical artifact that neutralizes poison. It is called Goldstein. Even if someone poisons my tea, if it is placed in here, it becomes useless. Honestly, I don't understand why Mother gave me this. Who would dare try to poison me? Eliano thought, if the cup had been there before, there would not have been any incident of poisoning and losing the child. I can't help but realize that I was thoroughly an outsider in this mansion. My mother was always kind to me. Unlike the other family members, although I was not her biological daughter, I believed that she loved me. Instead of giving me a magical tool to conceal the traces of me being an illegitimate child, my mother did not even let me know that the true heirloom, the Goldstein, existed. I wonder why. Next scene. The noble ladies spoke. Look at how shiny its coat is. Let's just touch it once. Hiran told them, no, if you touch it carelessly, you might get kicked by its hind legs. Hashi only shows a relatively calm demeanor toward a stable master. On the other hand, the maid told her, the sun is warm, but the wind is strong. Are you not cold, my lady? Eliano replied, I am okay, it is not cold either. She thought, the wind is pretty strong, but compared to Lynxgen, it is just a gentle breeze. Oh no, leave it as it is, it looks nice. The Grand Duke caught it and told her, I think this belongs to the princess. Eliano replied, I will cherish your highness's kindness in my heart once again. The Duke continued, I apologize for breaking the princess's belongings once again. Eliano emphasized, I am embarrassed to keep showing such unworthy behavior to His Grace the Duke. The Grand Duke replied, I don't think that is true. Eliano asked, then what do you think? The Duke commented, I don't have any thoughts. Eliano spoke, not making a value judgment about something means you have no interest in it. Such people are rare for me to meet. I had quite a bit of trouble because of the Viscount. I wonder if your highness knows about it. The Duke told her, choosing a good man to marry can also be a good option. Eliano said, my husband will be chosen by my father. In society, it is known that my father loves me so much that he wants to keep me close for a lifetime, but I am just a puppet for my father. She thought, the man before me is the one who took my father's life and erased our family, that future. I can't help but desire it. Eliano continued, but my husband will be able to receive my father's support. He will gain the Rosanna ducal family as an ally. Above all, my value is similar to that of a trophy to any man. The Duke stated, a man who sees his one and only wife as a trophy is not good. If the principal is truly that kind of person, you should be a bit more careful in choosing a husband. Eliano asked, what is His Grace looking for in a bride? The Duke replied, I have no intention of choosing a bride. Eliano commented, you have no intention. I heard His Highness the Crown Prince is going to arrange a match. She thought, Your expression shows how you wonder how I knew that. Eliano continued, social circles have eyes and ears everywhere, you have not forgotten who I am. The Duke emphasized, I declined His Highness the Prince's matchmaking proposal. Eliano asked, I see. What do you think of my proposal? For example, Princess Rosanna, I don't like to make value judgments about myself, but I believe it is necessary for making life-changing decisions. I will grant you permission, especially if your heart wavers even a little. The Duke stated, I do not like the combination of marriage and politics. Eliano asked, did I suggest a political marriage to you? I did not expect you to interpret a lady's heart that way. Well, what significance could it have to explain? I understand your intention. I will tie everything that happened today to that ribbon and forget it. After some time, the Crown Prince spoke, what a proud horse. Hiran said, Your Highness, the Crown Prince, I apologize. The Crown Prince replied, no, what does Miss have to apologize for? My lack of ability. Eliano thought, must you always add such unnecessary remarks to make the young lady uncomfortable? The horse licked her. All of them thought, what, that horse is very violent. Eliano spoke, you are so cool, completely black all over, black suits you very well. Hiran came and asked, this one is not usually so friendly, what is going on? Eliano replied, he is really kind and gentle. The Crown Prince said, Flint, let's go for a run. After that, at the end of the party, Eliano tried to introduce herself again. The Grand Duke replied, it is not that I wish to receive greetings, so please raise your head. I apologize for misunderstanding your feelings. I will keep the token given by you and will not forget what happened today. Eliano said, I am curious as to why you suddenly changed your mind. The Duke commented, if I gain enough courage, I will tell you. Eliano thought, this is the Crown Prince's way of speaking. Instead of being direct with his intentions, he expresses them in a roundabout manner. It seems he is not just a token friend. I have learned something quite valuable. The Duke asked, is this an invitation? I will deliver it to Lady Hiran, the Count's daughter. Eliano replied, I cannot use your grace the Duke as a messenger. The Duke thought, please allow me to deliver this in place of today's communication. Eliano thought there were too many eyes at home to send it herself. The Duke asked, by the way, is there anything else you wish to say? Eliano whispered, next time, please tell Lady Hiran that, Miss, rather than, young lady, is enough. Next scene. Eliano thought, what is going on? Then she asked, it is so noisy in the estate, what is going on? The maid replied, one of Miss Isabella's jewels was stolen. She is demanding a search of all the servants' rooms right now. I heard from Emily that the Goldstein has also disappeared. What is that about? After that, Eliano thought she used Goldstein since she could not steal the Duchess's belongings. It is a rather clever plan. In order to properly remove the nanny, there needs to be a rightful mistress. She had to witness the whole game from start to finish. I believed Isabella would handle it well, but... The maid came and told her, the family knights have arrived. They will search all the servants' rooms, and they plan to search the knights' quarters as well. The knights were offended. They are searching everywhere with fiery determination to avoid having their quarters inspected. If the stolen item is found in a servant's room, the knights won't have to undergo a search. Eliano thought, even the knights' quarters, it shows just how valuable the Goldstein is. The timing is unfortunate, but the game is already underway. Coincidentally, Damien is away as well. Even if Mother does not notice, Damien would immediately see through this fabricated situation. I need to wrap this up quickly. Eliano went out of the room and stated, since my nanny's room is the closest, start the search there. Eliano thought, when I was the Princess of Jacador, Nanny Pamela followed me and even played the role of my father's pawn. She was nearly caught by her ex-husband and nearly killed. It was me who gave her jewels and sent her on the run. I had no idea that I would regret doing this until the moment I died. Now, it is time to pay the proper price. Nanny said, this. I am the eldest daughter, Nanny. How dare you trespass into a nanny's room like this? Eliano came and told her, it seems there is a thief in our mansion. They stole Lady Isabella's jewel and the gift Mother gave, so please cooperate, even if it is a bit inconvenient. Nanny commented, Our Lady, it is nice to finally see the real you. Are your belongings all right? Eliano replied, how would I know that? You are the one who manages all my things. Nanny thought, what kind of foolish talk is this? Why is she not sending the knights away right now? The lady has changed. Now, I could clearly feel it. After all the time we have spent together, There is no place on her body, from head to toe, that my hands have not touched. How could she be so easily tamed? Where did it all go wrong? It does not matter. I did not steal the treasure, so feel free to search around. I will report this to the Duke right away and firmly address the lady's rude behavior. A knight shouted, "Here is the golden chalice. Please confirm if it is the missing one." Isabella replied, "Yes, this is my Goldstein. There are many other things as well." Isabella shouted, "This wretched thief, how dare you steal my jewels just because I treated you harshly?" Nanny replied, "I am innocent. I did not steal anything. It is all that headmaid's scheme, and that bitch even broke my leg." The headmaid asked, "What on earth are you saying right now? How shameless. Admit your wrongdoing." Nanny spoke, "Lady, please believe in my innocence, won't you?" Eliano replied, "How could my nanny? You did not steal my belongings. I did not want to confirm your feelings like this." Nanny shouted, "How could you do this to me? I have raised you like this." Isabella shouted, "Who are you taking your frustration out on? Raising her was your job, as if you have done something extraordinary. You did not even help my older sister, who was covered in blood, and left her." Nanny continued shouting, "Lady Eliano, you will regret it. Do you think you can drive me out by doing this? No, absolutely not. I am someone who knows your secret." Eliano thought, the nanny was the first person to take what belonged to me. Because of the magical tool that the nanny stole when I was young, I ended up bearing all the shame and eventually met my death. Would it have been less unfair if I had not sent her off like that back then, if I had just let her husband kill her? Eliano spoke, "I will decide the nanny's punishment myself. If she admitted her crime and repented, I was going to generously forgive her, considering the affection we shared, but she is truly shameless." Cut off Pamela's right wrist. Eliano again said, "Butler, can you not hear my words?" The butler replied, "Yes, miss, just as you command." Damien came and told them to wait. Eliano thought, of all times. Nanny shouted, "Young master, please clear my unjust grievance. I did not steal it." Damien spoke, "I was wondering where it went." "You were wrong, Eliano. Your belongings were stolen too." Eliano thought, "Ella artifact. Why would this be mine? It belongs to father." Damien continued, "Eliano, cutting off her right hand. Do you really think that is a fair punishment?" Eliano stated, "I believe the elder sister, born first, holds such authority. Won't you respect me?" Damien stated, "She says she knows our secret. Did you not hear? Cut off Pamela's right hand and tongue. Also gag her first, since she is noisy. Pamela, you should know it is thanks to Eliano that you will at least be keeping your left hand. That tongue. For the crime of biting its master, I will take it." Nanny shouted, "You can't do this to me. No one can. Please call the Duke. I know the young lady's secret." Damien stated, "How dare you threaten me? Anyone who steals their master's belongings in Rosanna knows that their hand will be cut off and they will be thrown out. From now on, those with bad habits will find no luck like Pamela." Eliano was happy. Isabella thought, "The blood, this is." A maid shouted, "Mess, please get a hold of yourself. The second young lady has collapsed. I told her we should go back." Damien thought, "I should have sent her back first." Eliano said quickly, "Take Isabella to her room and call Emma. Is she dead?" The butler replied, "No, she still has a pulse." Eliano commented, "Well, with just a tongue and a hand gone, it is unlikely someone would die so easily. Miller, move Pamela to her room and treat her. As for those things, throw them away immediately. They look disgusting." On the other hand, the crown prince spoke, "I am really tired of this." The Duke replied, "I prefer my own matchmaking over the Emperor's." The prince asked, "No, can't you just accept the Emperor's wishes?" The Duke continued, "Does the mighty son have the luxury for that?" The prince told him, "My father cherished you. I would not be here if it was not for you. Everything I said to the Emperor was sincere. I truly consider you my friend." The Duke said, "I am grateful for your friendship. I know you kept every promise. I will never forget your friendship and loyalty and will remain loyal to you for life. I also mean it when I say that you are my lord." The crown prince thought, his tone is dry, and he has no expression. I can't understand what he is thinking. Of course, I don't doubt his loyalty. Then he told him, "My fiancée asked before if you and I get along well. She thinks that since you and I are polar opposites in appearance, our personalities would be polar opposites as well, but still, we are kin." The crown prince and the grand duke were as opposite in life as they were in appearance. The Crown Prince, from the moment of his birth, was the empire's greatest joy. From the moment he was conceived, he was destined to become the Crown Prince. The aging emperor, unable to pass on his power any further to his precious late-born child, was desperate. Though he was raised with great care, what stood out more than his arrogance was his natural sociability. He possessed the ability and determination to finish the rigorous heir education without trouble. For him, the clear path to the throne became illuminated when Vianteka, as the representative of the diplomatic mission, first arrived in Linksgen. The Grand Duke was the one who saved the Crown Prince. Like this video, hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos.